We are back with another episode of Lubinski's Daily Dose. I'm Jim Lubinski, endurance sport coach, former professional triathlete, former professional ice hockey player, strength coach, all around good guy. You name it, that's what I am. But here we go. Hey, I woke up yesterday and I was ready to hit it hard. I had a 2-hour run on the schedule, 5,000-yard swim. And guess what? Both kids sick, right? So they couldn't go to camp. They had to stay home. My old lady had to go into Burbank, go to work. So who was in charge? Daddy daycare. I'm not going to leave the 6-year-old and the 4-year-old here alone, although I'd like to, but it screwed up my entire day, right? So I was pissed. I said, man, I'm on such a roll right now. I got the momentum going. I'm motivated, getting confident like we spoke about in the last episode. And you know what the funny thing was on Tuesday, I thought, man, everything's going really well now. How long until there is a wrench thrown into the chain, right? How long? Something's going to happen. When does a kid get sick? And the next day, boom, kid's sick. Dad's home, daddy daycare, taking care of these kids. But you know what? This brought me to my thought that I'm going to talk about today. And it's all about consistency, right? I had a 2,000, like I said, I had a 2-hour run, 5,000-yard swim. Ain't going to happen, right? But my wife got home from work. I put on my shoes. I got out and I ran 80 minutes, right? The kids went to bed. I got on the tether and I swam 30 minutes on the tether. So it might not have been 2-hour run, might not have been a 5,000 swim, but I finished the day fitter than I started the day and still got that work in. I think a lot of times we think, oh man, I can't do my 2-hour run. I'm not going to do it at all, right? Maybe 30 minutes is all the time you have and you get out and run 30 minutes. Guess what? We can build off of that 30 minutes, right? But if you just say, I'm just not going to do it because I can't do the whole thing, then we're missing an opportunity to advance. Even though it's a little bit, we can still advance a little bit, right? Champions aren't made in one specific workout. Champions aren't made in one specific hard workout. And all of a sudden they say, hey, we're at the top of the heap. We're in the top step. Champions are made day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And every single day isn't going to work out perfectly for you, but you got to make the most out of it. Maybe you're working in the office and all of a sudden your boss, Mr. Jones, said, hey, Rogers, you got to stay late, do this report. And you say, man, I'm supposed to hit the gym, dude. I got a big fight this weekend. I'm doing an MMA fight and I'm going to miss out on getting primed. Hey, but you got to work. You got to stay late and do this report. All right, Mr. Jones, I'll stay late. So what can you do? Maybe you can do a plank and 20 push-ups every hour, right? You could do something to end the day fitter than you started. But we always think, oh, it's got to be a big chunk. It's got to be the most intense workout. Everything has to be perfect, right? But that's not the case. Something is better than nothing. And I'd rather you do a little something than nothing at all, right? The second point I want to talk about on this topic about consistency is what happened to me on the bike this morning, right? I've been working hard. I got on the bike. My legs weren't there, right? I still was able to pedal. It wasn't where I was at the point of fatigue where I had to get off and go take a nap, but I just did not have the pop in the legs. So I backed it down. I backed down the intensity. I stayed on. I nailed the volume without digging myself into a deeper hole, keeping me consistent in the training, allowing me once again to build volume day after day, week after week, month after month. So I'm adapting to that stress without digging too deep a fatigue hole, while also not cutting out and just saying, forget it. I can't do this intensity, so I'm just going to forget about the workout, right? So sometimes the better option is back it down, run a little easier, ride a little easier, swim a little easier, lift a little easier, get a little extra recovery, right? Active recovery, as opposed to, sometimes when you're just dead, you just got to cut it, right? You just cut it. You say, I'm dead tired. I got to go to sleep. But if you're just aren't feeling the pop in the legs and you just want to get that volume in, back the effort down, stay consistent, stay on top of the work, stay on top of that volume and be able to build day after day, week after week, right? So stay consistent. Don't feel like, hey, if I can't do the whole thing, I may as well not do it all. Something's better than nothing, right? And then if you get on and just intensity isn't there that you're supposed to hit, it's not about that one intense workout. It's stringing together days and days and days of workouts so we can keep building on top of each other. So stay consistent. Do what you can. I'm not giving you an excuse just to cut out and say, oh, well, I just don't want to do 2 hours. It's necessary. If you're doing an Ironman or you're doing a boxing match, you got to do the work if you want the results. But sometimes it's just not possible to do the other life events. And you just got to make a decision. Hey, something is better than nothing. I'd rather get something in than nothing at all. So stay consistent, string those days together, string those weeks together, string those months together. That's how champions are made. Tomorrow starts today. Get your shit done. Thanks, guys.